Hey, it's Drybear, back with another monetization review, and today we're going to be looking at the value of the items that you can pick up, the packs that are involved with the Throne and Liberty release, including the Founders Packs, the Battle Pass, the Leveling Log as well. So let's do data first, just for the people that want to know what the answer is. If you've never seen any of my valuation videos going through the monetization schemes of games, in general, these are the valuation scores for the items and packs that exist in the launch for Throne and Liberty. So if you don't know what this is, basically if you were to spend $40 on something and you got back the equivalent of $40 in value, the valuation would be 1 because what you're spending, you're getting that exact same value back. Anything under 1 obviously means you're overpaying for the value you have, and anything over 1 means that you're getting back more value than the amount of currency you're spending to get it. So generally we like to see values go much over 1 if possible, and of course we're trying to gauge things from that. My general recommendation on all these videos is usually if you are a minnow, which means you're looking to spend from between $5 and $30, I wouldn't buy anything under a valuation of 4. Anything under 4 is not really minnow territory. It's not super worth it. You want to save up for those big value adds, those big value returns from the things you can buy. If you're a shark, I would say you could buy anything above like 1.3, just to focus on that. And then if you're a whale, who cares? You can buy whatever the heck you want because you have the disposable income to do so. So we're going to look at the Battle Pass first. So this is the Phantom Tracker Star. This is the first Battle Pass. A couple things to know about Battle Passes. In general, I like to see Battle Passes sit between a 9 and 12 valuation. Anytime that a Battle Pass falls under a 9 valuation, usually to me says that there could be more value in it, and there needs to be. So for the Throne and Liberty Phantom Tracker Star, I would say it's a little bit under what I'd expect to see for a Battle Pass. It does sit at 7.43, as you can see here. So if you jump into game and check it out, you can actually go to the Battle Pass. This will give you a Phantom Tracker Cosmic, or it's a rare skin, which actually looks pretty cool. You can see on the right side here, this is a part of their Battle Pass overall. You will also get a morph, which is essentially a mount in this game. You'll be able to turn into the Proud Lion, and run around like this. This will be your ground mount, essentially. It does have a pose that you can use for cosmetic wise, and you also will get a pet, an abattoir, which is useful for getting small bonuses or healing yourself during combat, and they will pick up items for you as well, which can be useful. So you have those items in there, and then on top of that, for the premium, you're still going to get a bunch of the soft currency, the Salant, they're gold, as well as a bunch of crafting materials and materials that'll make your experience better. You even get an appearance change ticket, which right now in the store is 250 of the Lucent for that overall. If you're looking for a general view, I'll do a separate video going over the actual monetization scheme for the game to help you understand these valuations, but in general, the Battle Pass sits at pretty much what you'd expect, maybe a little bit lower than what I would want for a Battle Pass overall. The next thing to look at is actually going to be the premium leveling log. So I think the challenge with these relates to the monetization scheme of the game in general, but you can actually get this leveling log as part of the game. This would be just like almost like a challenge completion by the levels that your character gets. It's 1 per character. So as you level up, you'll unlock different features in the game, as well as different items and bonuses. And there's a premium leveling log, or a leveling log pass here, that you can buy for 750 of the Lucent. And this will unlock additional materials. And at the end of this leveling log, once you hit level 50, they do kind of suggest, by saying that 51 coming soon, that they might add to this, and hopefully they don't make you repurchase the leveling log. But in general, based on my estimation, the leveling log is actually pretty trash for value return. A lot of what you're going to get is going to be ways to refine or increase the value of your gear as you level. So you're going to be getting growth stones for armor, weapons, and accessories. You will be getting materials to ramp up to either craft with, or to ramp up the upgrade and the refining process for your gear. So magic powder, polishing crystals, things like that. You'll get selection chest for getting the materials for crafting, which can be useful, and that's a separate discussion on its own. And you'll also get these books that will be useful for increasing skills and skill growth and that sort of thing, which is also one of the more difficult things to get in general. But because you're spending so much relative to the value in it, I don't think the value of the premium leveling log pass is actually there. So if you're a minnow, if you're someone that's planning to spend between $5 to $30 in general, I would actually say just play the game for free, eat the 5 days early access loss unless you really care about it, and only get the battle pass when it's available. Keep in mind that the battle pass is actually, in this game, they plan for it to be monthly. So it's not going to be like a quarterly rotation where most games do quarterly. They'll either do 8 weeks or 12 weeks. They're planning to do 4 weeks for Throne and Liberty for the rotation of the battle pass. So keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about the early access packs. The early access pack Ultimate, Deluxe, and Standard. The value here isn't crazy high, but it is reasonable enough, especially if you really like the skins that come along in the pass. So if we go into the store, we'll get a preview of these. You can't see it as well as I would like in the store here because there's a bunch of items in here that aren't shown in this image, but this is a good spread. So the standard pack is $40, the deluxe pack is $70 US, and the early access pack ultimate is $100 US, and each pack includes the previous one, which means whatever is in the standard pack you will get as part of the deluxe, and whatever is in the ultimate whatever is in the deluxe you'll get as part of the ultimate, I should say. So you'll be able to get these. So I think the value on these is not crazy high. They do scale up linearly, which means the ultimate has a 1.51, the deluxe is 1.4, and the standard is 1.28. So from that standpoint, I would say if there's a shark, if you're a shark looking to spend $30 to $300, I would probably pick up any one of these depending on which one you care about the most. The major difference here is just going to be you'll get this as part of this. The second pack's the deluxe pack. Like the standard pack is going to be $40, $40 US, and it does include your 5-day early access, the lion morph, the swan morph, and the otter morph. This is going to be one morph per travel mode. So lion morph is going to be your ground mount, swan morph is your flying mount or gliding, so you can glide down from high areas, and you do use these in dungeons as well. There's going to be swimming portions, flying portions, and running portions in dungeons, and there's not really many places that fully restrict you from morphing in general, so you can mount pretty most places. So this is probably a little bit more valuable than mounts, say, in other MMOs because it is part of the gameplay experience. You'll also get one of those collectible pets, and you'll get a title. So this one is really the lowest value of the 3 different packs. The early access packs is going to be valued at $40. Next up is the deluxe bundle, which will include all of the items inside of the standard edition, which we already looked at was the otter, the swan, the lion, the early access, the Lulu, and the title. But then you'll also get a second title, 500 Lucent of the hard currency in game, another of the pets, and you'll also get the Shadow Knight outfit, which you can see in game is going to be this purple and black Dark Knight looking aesthetic for one character that you're able to pick up. And it does include the Radiant Wolf as part of that as well, so you'll be able to use those as your transformation options. But this one's going to be $70. It does have a little bit more value than the previous. And lastly is the early access pack ultimate. This is going to be the $100 USD, whatever it is in your local currency version of the pack. This one includes the Radiant Spirit outfit. So if you see that here, that's the angel looking one with the wings and the feathers and all of that. It does include that. Plus it does have some extra morphs in there, and it does include an extra emote, they take the throne, an extra title, and 500 more Lucent than the previous. Keep in mind, and this is something that's super important to know about how this game will work, is that you will have your 2 primary currencies, aside from like end game currencies and currencies for activities and stuff like that. Salant is going to be your soft currency, and then your Lucent is kind of like a medium currency. It is a premium currency. You will be able to buy it. It will come as part of packs and bonuses. As you can see by buying these early access packs, you do get Lucent, but you will also get Lucent in the game for various PvP modes, sieges with guild battles, guild events. You'll get Lucent as well. And if you sell something on the auction house, it will give you Lucent back as well. Keep in mind that you will only be able to sell certain things like base items that you find out in the world, like world drops and stuff like that. Some materials, some gems, some like extracts for traits and stuff like that. But you won't really be able to do a whole lot of crafted items. Anything that's like really rare that drops from a high-end dungeon, like inside of the dungeon, you probably won't be able to sell that on the auction house, and some other things will be restricted as well. But it does give free-to-play players a way to farm Lucent at a small rate to be able to find these items and sell them or do the global activities. And the reason I specify that is because it means that the valuation of these is going to be a little bit lower, because the premium currency that you get as part of these packs is definitely going to be lower as well. So I think no matter who you are, I think the Battle Pass is going to be worth it, especially for the first month of the game. If you're planning to play Throne and Liberty for the launch of it, I would get the Battle Pass. It'll give you a nice jump start. The items in there are super great. It gives you damage buff consumables, which will help you clear some of the, there's a couple like a level 20, level 30, level 40. There's some dungeons, some bosses, and some quest lines that are a little bit harder than the others, which means having those consumables to push through them will actually make you level a little bit faster. So it's nice to have those on hand, and it will give you some growth materials that allow you to push through for the value of it. And of course, you can get the Battle Pass in-game if you're patient enough with the Lucent that you farm through other means. Outside of that, I would say that I can't actually recommend the premium leveling log for anyone other than a whale. If you want the extra benefit, there is value there, and you will get a value return for the items you have in the premium leveling log. It will give you a nice little boost and a nice little jump, but it's not going to make an end-all be-all difference in your gear progression or your like eye level progression in the game, and it's not going to make a huge difference once you get to end game either. Hopefully they add more to the premium leveling log. That's not super big there. And then when it comes to early access pack, I would say if you're a minnow, like a low spending user, or obviously free to play wouldn't buy it, but if you're a low spending user and you're just kind of interested in the game, I actually can't recommend any of the early access packs unless you either A, want the cosmetics really bad that are in them, that will be exclusive to these packs, because once the game launches, the early access packs will go away, or B, you really want to be part of the early access portion of the game to get in early and play early. The other thing too is they're doing early access differently for this game. There will be an early access server and a launch server, and the people in the early access server won't be able to transfer, which means that everyone that starts day one will be able to start fresh with everyone that's starting day one. You can start a character on the early access servers if you want to play with the people that are ahead of you if you didn't do early access, but you don't have to if you don't want to, and later down the line they will allow transfers from early access to launch and launch to early access if you really want to. So it's not going to be that big of a deal if you don't take the early access. So again, not crazy value on these early access packs unless you really like the game, you really want to be part of the early access, or you really like the skins. There's one more item worth talking about, which is the Silent Outlaws pack. This one just gives you a nice like Western, like I don't know, like Van Helsing looking style, like witch hunter style skin. It will also give you a morph, which is a gliding mount. It'll give you a pet, a nice little MJ dance here based on the info. And then you also get a way to do cosmetics or, dyeing your skins. And this does have decent value as well for the amount of stuff you're getting. So like I said, if you're like a shark, maybe pick up the Battle Pass and the Silent Outlaws pack, or maybe just pick up one of the early access packs that means the most to you based on what you have in it. Probably the middle one, just because it has the skin in it and a little bit of Lucent. But that's what I've got for the valuation of the items that exist in the open beta version of the game. These might change for launch depending if AGS does another review and decides they want to swap this up, but I wanted to cover at least what was available and what could be the launch version of the game once we get there if they decide to make no changes from this public open beta. And of course, I'll be doing other reviews and other content for the game as well, so look for that. And if you have questions for me, put it down below. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.